Do you know your mind works against you when it comes to your spending? It's called cognitive biases. They're your thought processes that influence our spending, makes us spend, makes us overspend, makes us buy unnecessary stuff. Today, I'll show you 5 systemic errors in your thinking that affects your decision to spend. I'll let you know mine. And I'll also show you how to overcome these thinking processes, these cognitive biases. All right, let's go. Has this ever happened to you? You go to a store for a top, you see one for $100, and then you see a different top for $80, and immediately your mind tells you this $80 top is a lot better for you than the $100 top. It's not even based on how it fits, how it looks on you. You just immediately are convinced that this $80 option is a better option than the $100 option, right? And I know you're thinking, well, what's wrong with that? That means you were financially savvy. You're going for the cheaper one. Not really, because what you are experiencing is called anchoring bias. Anchoring bias is when you rely heavily on the first piece of information you receive while making a decision. When we see something on sale, just seeing that it's on sale isn't really what gets us to buy. Where anchoring bias comes in is when we see the original price, especially for something we weren't even planning on buying in the first place. You go into the store for a pair of jeans, but then you see a top that used to be $49.99. It's now $35.95. You didn't need the top. You weren't planning on buying the top. It's not a necessity, but just knowing this top used to be $49.99, that first piece of information immediately makes you think, this is a great buy, this is a great financial decision. I am getting it on sale. I am paying less than its initial price. What if you knew no one ever bought that top for $49.99? Would you still think it's a great buy? It's a great opportunity moment. Is that a word? It's a great advantage. You've really taken advantage of a sale price. Would it still feel that way? See, anchoring bias is the reason why the stores put the original price on the sticker. It's adding another layer to convince you to buy it without you even knowing. So how do you cure anchoring bias? Well, with anything, it would be, first of all, planning before you spend. But let's be honest, anchoring bias is very responsible for impulse spending. And impulse spending means you didn't plan to. So telling you to plan is a waste of time. The very first thing is awareness. With every other systemic error in your thinking that I will discuss with you, the number one thing is awareness. When you know, you correct, right? So now that you know this is a factor, next time you see the original price and your mind starts doing its work of telling you, ooh, what a deal, tell your mind, ooh, maybe not. With anchoring bias, the biggest solution is take a break, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, do I really need this top? Yes, it's on sale, but do I really need it? And then a good one, would I buy this top for $59.99? If this was its original price, would I pay $59.99 for it? And if the answer is no, which in a lot of my cases is a no, then hey, you're done. All right, take a look at the screen in case you weren't looking at the screen. Look at these 2 pictures. Which of these 2 are you more likely to buy? Don't overthink it. If you saw this at the store, you saw this piece of meat, and you saw the other, which are you more likely to buy? They are the exact same thing. I know you knew it. I know you figured it out because you were smart. You was kind of. I know you figured it out. But here's the thing. They will never, ever market it with its negative qualities because then you wouldn't buy. But it's the exact same thing. This is called framing effect. Framing effect is when our choices are influenced by the way they are framed. When you choose a service or product over another simply because of how it's presented to you, that is a framing effect. You know, when you go to the store and they put all this label on the product, gluten-free, sugar-free, water-free, fat-free, everything free, and it just seems like, oh, this is a great product. It's free of all those things. But then you're like, wait a minute, But water doesn't have any of that. How is water organic? Right? Or a great one, when you choose an item or you think an item is worth what it costs, simply because the packaging looks a lot more modern and a lot newer and a lot slicker. They use the sharp lines and the straight lines, and it's white with crisp lettering, and in some cases it has even less product than the alternative. But because this other product is still packaged in old style, they haven't learned that the new color is white. It has to be white with some crisp lettering. Your mind tells you you are better off spending 20% more for the same item as this. Items are constantly presented to us in a way that makes us think they are worth the cost, they are worth the price. A good way to cure framing effect is to think about what you were really buying. In a grocery store, I do a lot of ingredients comparison because, listen, it is hard to make me part with my money, right? So I take a look at the ingredients, the active ingredients. For those who don't know, ingredients are listed based on the quantity. So the one with the most quantity in that product is listed first, and then the next. So I compare ingredients, and if the ingredients are the same, then forget the packaging. I will get the cheaper option, right? Another way to cure framing effect is to think of the negative aspects. The product wants you to focus on its good aspects. Well, a good way to counteract that is just focus on the negative aspects. And knowing the negative aspects, would you still buy? I use this a lot. I didn't even know. I didn't even know I was so smart and I was in some mind game. I do use this a lot, although for me, then I would use it to try to convince myself it's not worth buying, which shoot, that's what we're doing here, right? Right. I think of the negative aspect. Okay, sure, great. It tastes good, but now it's going to make me gain 10 pounds. You know what I mean? When you focus on the negative aspects, then your decision to buy would be a much more sound decision than focusing on the positive that the stores want you to focus on. Listen, there are other ways to cure this effect, but let's save that for the end, because some of the ways to overcome these biases overlap, and they work interchangeably for each one of them. So let's go through the other three biases that we have, and at the end we'll discuss how to overcome them. Okay? Moving on to the next bias that makes us spend. If I give you $100 gift, but told you you would have to pay $50 tax on it, would you still want the gift? See, some of you have decided, nah, it's not worth it. You're trying, there's a catch, right? Some of you are like, heck yeah, that's still $50. It really is. It's $100. You have to pay $50 tax on it. Yeah, but you get to keep $50. That's $50 you did not have, right? So it's still a good deal. It's still a gift. It's no longer $100 value. It's a $50 value. This is called loss aversion. Loss aversion is when the pain of losing is a lot more than the joy of gaining the same amount. You strongly, strongly prefer to avoid loss. This happened to me over the summer, and I realized I had this bias. All right, so this summer, hubby and I went on vacation. We used an employee discount site to book our room, but they messed us up. Rather than giving us a room with a king size bed, they give us a room with two double beds. Well, I did not leave the kids at home to sleep on two double beds, right? So we went down to the concierge or whatever to take care of it. And they said, well, we're fully booked. The only thing we can give you is an upgrade. You'd have to pay an extra $13 every single night, but we understand we will give you food credit of, I think the food credit was $60 for the 3 nights, right? Lover said no. I said, you were not going to get me. I see what you're trying to do. You are trying to get me to pay more, but that is what I will not do because I am financially savvy. I am Nigerian. You are not going to get this. I'm smart. I'm street smart. I said, no, stick to my room. You know what? We'll figure out a way to push this best together. You will not make me spend where I did not want to spend. I am too smart for this, right? I know the game. Hobby said, actually, this is not a bad deal. actually, this is a great deal for us. Yes, we are spending $13 more every single night, but we're going to eat, aren't we? We are going to guaranteed spend $60, at least $60 in food. So technically, even though we are paying $13 more for the room, we are getting that money back in the food credit. I did not want to accept that. I well, but that means we have to eat what they tell us to eat. It has multiple restaurants, love it. You will find so it's do you get the point? For me, the fear of losing, these guys are trying to make me part with my money, and I have my guards up when it comes to spending. You will not make me overspend. Blinded me to the fact that I'm actually gaining. What am I gaining? I'm gaining the fact that we get a room with a king size bed rather than two double beds, thereby making our vacation a good one. After all, we took a break for a reason and we're not losing money either. It's a win win. It's a great deal. But I almost lost out on it because of the fear of losing. Now, all these biases apply to finance in general, but this video is focused on spending, so I'm trying to limit it and spending. But here's another way loss aversion gets you for those of you with this bias. Warranties. Everything now has warranties. Warranties, however you pronounce it. Everything has warranties. Everything. It used to be back in the day, it used to be major appliances or electronics. Yes, I use the word electronics on purpose because I'm talking about back in the day. Let me bring it to today. Tech, anything tech, those were the things that had those warranties, right? But now, everything, even the kids' toys, everything has warranties. It's a way to get you to spend more, right? Say we're buying a curling iron, it's $15. The warranty is $3. I've just spent $18. Would I spend $18 for that curling iron? If it was marketed to me as $18, would I still think it's a good price for the curling iron? Or would I say, you know what? No, I bet I can get something cheaper. But because they know that's how we think, they know we have this loss aversion. So they go, okay, how about this? We give you the curling iron for $15. But so you don't lose the curling iron you just bought. How about a $3 insurance? All they know is they want a bottom line of $18. You're thinking, I got a curling iron for $15. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you used any of the warranties you bought? Any of them? Because everything has warranties now. When was the last time you used those warranties? And then ask yourself, when you do get the warranties, do you actually read them? Because if I know I have to still send this curling iron to them, pay for shipping to send it to them, would I still want to get those warranties? Because if it costs me $5 to ship the curling iron to them, that means to take advantage of this, it's only $3 warranty, I'm having to spend $5. The curling iron is $15. Right? So your fear of losing makes you overspend, but you don't realize you're overspending. You're thinking, no, I'm protecting what I have. I'm making sure should this fall apart, I don't have to buy a brand new one. But once again, when was the last time you used a warranty? We got warranty for our couch. We got warranty for our bed. We've had both of them for over 5 years. We have not used it. We didn't even use warranty on the bed. We've had a bed for over 10 years. We didn't use a warranty and we got warranty on that. And I can guarantee you that has won out because the warranty is probably only good for what? For 3, 4 years. So how do you take care of loss aversion? I know I said we'll wait till the end, but we might as well just attack it. Very first thing is, of course, awareness. When you know you had this issue, then you process things differently. Second, you also want to think about worst case scenario in this case. Should it break down? Can I not afford $15? Now, if it's something that is worth it, for instance, my kid's iPad, heck, we're getting a warranty. Another way to deal with loss aversion is to understand, yes, people are out to get you, but dang it, sometimes it's not that. Take your emotion out of the situation and do the math. Love it. Stop thinking they're trying to get you and do the math, right? That's a way to that. Now, there are other ways to cure biases, and we'll attack that at the end, but I wanted to just list this up. All right, moving on to the next aversion. And remember, if you're getting anything from this video, you better hit like. Thank you. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency to process information by looking for or interpreting information that is consistent with your existing belief. Subconsciously, you look for information that favors your pre-existing belief. How many of us have gone on, Amazon, wherever it is you shop, and you straight up see the 4 stars, 5 stars, and it just like that reinforces your decision to spend. It's your way of justifying your decision to spend. Oh, it's a good product. The review says a good product. This is also the reason why some of us end up paying more for a product. We believe this brand is great, and so everything they have is great. That's why some of you are sticking with Apple rather than moving on to the peaceful life of Android. The confirmation bias is really just you finding reasons to justify your spending, period. A good way to cure this bias is to read the negative reviews. A good thing for me that I do with Amazon, because I do a lot of my shopping on Amazon, I know the reviews are really, I don't even think I can say that, because I think, okay, allegedly, I don't trust the reviews, because I think is a good word. I think it can be manipulated, right? So I read the negative review. And if the negative review confirms what I'm already suspecting, perhaps I'm buying a phone case. I'm really concerned with the design of this phone case. It would be slippery. It will slip out of my hand a lot. That's what I already think is going to happen. Now, if I read a couple reviews that says it will happen, I'm not buying. Is this a confirmation bias in a way? Yeah, but this is a good way to use that thought process to work in my favor. Right? So I'm not buying because I already think this is going to be an issue. And even though it has 4 stars and 5 stars, I see several reviews confirming this is an issue, then I'm more likely not to buy. Optimism bias. Yes, now we're just putting bias in front of everything. No, this is a legit bias. This is the tendency to overestimate the likelihood that good things will happen and underestimate the probability that negative events will happen. We make financial decisions based on positive scenarios. We think we're always going to have a job, and so we spend rather than save, more than we save, or we spend rather than save. We think life, everything will work out, so we don't plan for retirement. We don't put money away for retirement. Like I said, these biases they affect our finances in general, but this video is focused on just spending, so I'm framing it all on just spending. But optimism bias is the reason why we overspend. There are no, to us, mentally, in our minds, our thought process, there are no consequences to us not managing our money well. And so, so we overspend month after month. No biggie. We can pay off the credit card, even though you're not using your funds well. No biggie. Everything will be fine. Tomorrow will be just like today, or even better. People tend to save more when they think the future will be like or worse than the present. Thought processes. So let's talk about how to overcome these biases. Some we've already mentioned, but if you have any of this thought process, if you've realized that this is an issue for you, here are the ways to overcome them. The very first step is awareness. Be aware of your bias. There's a quote, self-awareness allows you to self-correct. Once you know you have this bias, you're more alert when it happens, because you now realize this is not a normal situation. This is a you situation. So just being aware of it will help you overcome it or counteract it or stop it in its tracks and make you think before you buy. Another way to overcome this bias is to be intentional with your spending. Put a delay. Don't just spend. Pause. When you're in the store, especially for something you weren't planning to buy, maybe do a loop around the store to think about it. Don't just buy right away. You see it and you grab it. I see it, I like it, I buy it. No, that only works for music. In real life, you see it, you like it, pause and think about it, right? And also research. This doesn't really affect impulse buying, but this is for when you're on the couch, when you were trying to buy the big purchases, or not even the big purchases. Research. Do the research, compare your alternative. But when you're comparing your alternative, forget the price. Let the price be the last thing you're using to compare. Compare the item itself, the quality, the reviews, not just the positive reviews, so you can confirm to yourself that your purchase is, your intention to buy is right. Look at the negative reviews as well. And then unit price is your friend. Unit price is a good way to combat the packaging effect, the framing effect. Okay, so this looks amazing, but if the unit price is a lot higher than the unit price of the ugly looking one, then if you decide to still go with the amazing looking one, then you've made an informed decision. They didn't just pull one over your head. You definitely prefer this expensive one, not because it's better than this not so great looking packaging, but just because you prefer nice packaging that you still throw away, but that's you, do you, right? But at least you've made an informed decision. So unit price is a good way to combat framing effect and focus on quality. Reframe it in your reality. I've discussed this in another video, and this is part of intentional buying. How does this work for you? Is this dishwasher safe? Oh, there are a lot of wonderful, beautiful mugs that I would really be unnecessary spending. Who like they're gorgeous, but I can't put them in the microwave. I can't put them in the dishwasher. The way my life is set up, so I'm not paying $5 for a mug that I can't put in a microwave. Yes, it's $5, but because I can't put it in a microwave, I can put it in a dishwasher, is 2 days away from Goodwill, right? So reframe it in your reality, that whatever it is you're buying for the house, do you need another appliance? How does it apply in your real life? Not just the usage of the product, but also the maintenance of the product. Your clothes, same thing. Do you have closet space for this clothes, or is this going to become another mental issue because now your closet is a mess, and so every day you're living with a messy closet because you have too many clothes, and so there goes you not being happy every time you look into your closet, and now you're not happy in your own house. Now you need a bigger house. Here's a higher mortgage. It's a cascade of events. I can keep going. I went to Aldi the other day, and they had those blenders, those mini blenders. They're very small and cute, colorful, and I was trying to get it for my kids because my kids do smoothie now, and I have this huge Ninja blender. I wanted to get them something smaller that they could use, and mommy's not going to have to worry about the blades and all that stuff and them making a mess. Then I thought to myself, can this thing blend ice? Can it break down ice? Can it crush ice? And so just right there, I saved myself $16 because it didn't look to me. Oh man, can I say that? Allegedly, I think this is not based on any review, so I may be wrong. Cover my behind. I was like, I saved myself $16 because I was just like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. They've been using the Ninja blender; they'll just stick with that. And if I get something smaller, cool. But for that minute, or for that purchase, it didn't work. When I reframed it in my reality, it didn't work, right? We've talked about, is this the best use for your money? That is always a good go-to. You can afford it. This when you don't have money, you don't have problems, right? But when you can afford it, now you have decisions to make. Is this the best use of your money? I was in Target. I went to Target just to get one thing. Yeah, I left it. I left it. It is not the best use of my money. Listen, Summer did a number on my money, and oh yeah, 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 yeah. These are ways to combat your biases. I truly hope this helps you guys, and let me know if you like this more relaxed way of doing the videos. I think sometimes when I turn on the camera, I go into presentation lover, and my personality, I guess, doesn't come through. So I'm trying to just be me on camera, and if you guys don't like it, I don't see the views, then we'll go back to the typical presentation lover. Some of you are not even going to get to this point, so what am I saying? Anyway, people, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. All right.